Okay, we're going to call a meeting to order. And I guess we're doing the land acknowledgement statement for this one, so here we go. We acknowledge that the ground on which we live is the traditional territory of Caldwell First Nation, of the Three Fires Confederacy, and the original people of Point Pelee and Pelee Island, and its surrounding lands and waters, and that of the Huron, Wendat, and Wyandot peoples. We recognize and respect the First Nations who are stewards of the land and waters of Turtle Island and who have embraced this stewardship since time immemorial. We would also like to acknowledge the contributions of other nearby First Nation communities and all original people across Turtle Island. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? There being none, can I get an adoption of the minutes from the April 11th, 2023 meeting? Councillor Reno and Deputy Mayor Akpata, all in favor? That carries. Item 1, Summer and Fall 2023 activity updates. We'll go with the Manager of Culture and Rec, Scott.
Thank you and good afternoon, Mayor and members of Council. The report before you is our regular quarterly report that is brought forward each committee meeting to provide Mayor and Council a high-level summary of the important activities and events that are upcoming. I'm going to turn the presentation over to Owen Stitchhaller and Stephanie Diego Berkeley, our two supervisors, who can go into more detail.
Hello, everyone. I'm just really excited. We are starting July next week, so we have our kickoff to our summer programs. So we'll be opening our outdoor pool for the public and for our swim lessons starting next week on Monday. And then we also have our day camp starting next week as well on the Monday. So we'll be offering those for the 9 weeks throughout the summer. And then we will be kicking off our regular summer registration as well for our programs then. So they'll be going for the 9 weeks throughout that summer session. If you have any questions, please let me know. But then going into fall, we will be launching our fall activity dates, so they'll be viewable for the public in July 31st, with the fall priority registration starting August 14th. Our land programs for youth and adults will begin in September and then followed by our pool programs in October because our Vollmer pool is closed for the month of September for annual maintenance.
So we're also continuing our night market series. June and July will be at the Civic Center and September will be at the LaSalle Event Center. Furthermore, we have our last call before fall event on September 8th and 9th at the Event Center, and that is replacing the former LaSalle Craft Beer Festival. And then the other Town of LaSalle hosted event that we're looking at is Truck or Treat. That'll be the 4th annual event, October 28th at the Vollmer Center. We do have quite the itinerary of third-party events throughout the summer, so we'll be working with those groups to host their event at the Vollmer Complex and additional event center rentals as they come online. And then finally, we have our facility closure dates. So we've got our standard holiday dates, and we've noted that we do have the annual pool maintenance at the Vollmer Center from September 5th to 29th. So that is our annual maintenance program, and our members have been made aware of that closure. We're available should there be any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Members of Council, any questions? Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you, congratulations to the team. Just a quick question. I was watching CBC News yesterday, or the day before, about the election in Toronto, and something came up that I just want to bring up. One of the things that Toronto was talking about is the step back of their swimming programs because of the lack of lifeguards. I see we've got a full plate. Are we okay in that area, like I said, to actually have a leader from the municipality comment on, I guess it was national news? I just want to make sure that we can reassure our residents that the team has plans in place to ensure that folks can take advantage of the facilities we have.
So thank you for the question. Thus far, we've been able to avoid a lot of the disruptions in service that you've seen across the province. Fortunately, we have a full staff complement and we're offering full activities at both the Vollmer pool this summer and the outdoor pool. So we're hoping and we're working towards maintaining that, and we're aware of the shortages that are occurring, but we continue to offer a number of leadership classes, which is the precursor to getting approved and certified lifeguards. And then we're also working on some new recruitment initiatives just to continue to share with people why it's such a great place to work.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you're forward-thinking to make sure we're able to offer these activities to the residents throughout the course of the summer. Thank you, Your Worship.
Any other questions? Are we completely full for all of our programming for the summer? Day camps?
Thank you for your question. In regards to our day camps, we're pretty full. There are a couple spots in our older age group for maybe 1 or 2 weeks that are available but we're about 99% full for majority of our camps. We are receiving some refund requests due to last-minute vacation changes, but those are being filled as soon as they come up with our wait list.
And my final question is, with the weather like it is out there today, is that going to affect us at all for programming? Are we going to have to look at switching locations at all? Or do we just monitor when it's weather hazards? And I don't know how to handle it this summer. I'm hearing it's going to be an awful summer for air quality. So I'm just not sure how much of our programming is outdoor.
Thank you for the question. That's one of the things after reopening after COVID that we were able to do was sort of right-size our programs and ensure that our capacity in day camp was limited so that we have space inside the building for days like this. We did in years past have a bigger capacity or a larger capacity where we would use the outdoors as much as possible, and we still strive to do that when the weather is appropriate, but we do have the space to accommodate everyone inside if need be.
Thank you very much. Okay, so item 1, which is the report CR 203122, July 2023 to October 2023 be received. Councillor Riccio Spagnolo and Councillor Burns, all in favor? And that carries. Item 2, last call before fall. Ms. Finero.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Your Worship and members of Council. The report before you is a follow-up to the report brought at the last Parks, Recreation and Events Committee meeting, and just bringing forward the details of the budget for the event. The proposed budget is proposing a surplus of $5,100, and we're asking for that to be approved today. There is a bit further information contained within the report around the logistics and details of the event. We did launch ticket sales just prior to Father's Day at the recommendation of our partners from Tourism Windsor Essex Pelee Island in order to sell some tickets in terms of Father's Day gifts, and we plan to start promoting the event in the coming weeks. And I'm certainly available for any questions, and the budget is contained in the attachment to the report, and we have a representative from Finance here should there be any questions as well.
Thank you very much. Members of Council, any questions? Councillor Charlie?
Thank you. Through you, I'm not sure if this is going to go to Finance or to Patty. I had a question on the expenses. There is a charge on here for online admission software of $1,800. Do we have to pay that for each event that we do, or is there something that one overall package that we can purchase or use for online payments?
Thank you for the question. Through you, Mayor, to the councillor. That is in relation to the active online in advance sales. So that is the cost of that software. So it is based on the number of number of tickets sold through the online software program. For each online program and each ticket sold, there is a cost, yes, for each event.
Okay. Councillor Riccio Spagnolo.
Thank you. Through you. Just a question regarding the expenses for security. I'm assuming we're using the same company that we use at the Vollmer, but do you ever look into St. Clair College to utilize their security program? Because that would probably eliminate quite a bit of funds from your security budget line.
Thank you for the question. We currently have a request for proposals out for security services for the Vollmer and then our events throughout the remainder of the year. We have not looked into St. Clair College. We certainly can do that. And we, with regards to that, we'd also need to look at the municipal alcohol risk management policy. I'm not 100% sure if those that are in that program would be considered licensed security guards, and that is a requirement of certainly our policy, and I would believe the AGCO rules as well, but we can certainly explore that and bring that information back.
Just to follow up, we've used them before for different events at the casino and at the Volmer for Play for a Cure. So it just might be an option to reach out to the college because their fees are much less, especially if there's a partnership or sponsorship recognition piece. That might be an option just to reduce some of the cost.
Any other questions or comments? Deputy Mayor?
Through your worship to the team, I'm excited. I'm waiting to have some fun. I'm waiting to stroll, and I'm waiting to enjoy and see how we can demonstrate our ability to, and I don't want to say do better than the Craft Beer Fest because I miss it, but I want to have that warm, fuzzy feeling replaced with something else. And I'm appreciative of the work that you've done, and I know that the community will support and come out. And again, in advance, in anticipation of where it's going to go, thank you very much for the effort that's gone into this.
Thank you. I agree 100%. I think people are starting to hear about it, and they're getting really excited that we have something new that's more of an adult event coming to our area. And I think you guys did a great job teaming up with TWEPI, because I think that'll really help us kind of get it out there this year and hopefully have a lot of different options available for our residents as well. So I think it's going to be fantastic. So thank you guys very much. All right, Council, so we have a request to approve. I guess it'd be approving the budget with the surplus. Councillor Desjardins? Councillor Regis-Spagnolo, all in favor? That carries. Item 3 is our 2023 winter session report. Mr. Bison.
Thank you, Your Worship. The report before you is another regular quarterly report that we bring to the Parks and Recreation and Events Committee each meeting. This is a summary of the activities in the previous session, and today's report is the activities from our winter 2023 session, encompassing activities from January through till the end of March. Overall, the winter 2023 session met or exceeded our anticipated outcomes, and I would say would be reminiscent of a pre-pandemic winter session at the Volmer Center, which we haven't had in a few years. The previous winter in 2022, you may recall we were closed for the entire month of January, so it was kind of an abbreviated session. I won't go into each detail throughout the report, but maybe a few key highlights. In total, we had 2,147 total participants in aquatic and recreation programming, and that was significantly higher than in 2022, where, of course, we only had 2 months as compared to 3. But it was, and looking back to 2019, was also an increase over 2019 prior to the pandemic. So programs have returned and actually are growing. The other point I would highlight was the 89%, near 90% fill rate in aquatic program and 80% fill rate in our recreation programs, which is excellent and speaks to the demand that's in the community, and also, I guess, the right sizing of the activities. Normally within Parks and Recreation, 75% is considered good or very good, and to be at near 90 for aquatics and 80% for our recreation programming is something we're very happy about. And third, with our ice bookings return to what they were regularly anticipated for January, February, and March. Last year, obviously, the total hours was down, but that was simply a result of us being closed in January for a full month. The final thing I would say, and I know that we have said this at the last report, at the last meeting, and a lot of communications between ourselves and mayor and council. But, I believe it begs repeating over and over again that the collaboration and support that we get from Public Works, along with HR, IT, and finance, is integral to the success of all these programs. And the customer at the Volmer, sees the frontline staff, maybe the lifeguard at the pool, or the front desk staff and their culture and recreation staff that are delivering a lot of the services. But the work that we do in collaboration with the other departments is what really makes everything go, and we appreciate their work and always want to recognize it.
Thank you very much. Members of council? I think you took the words out of our mouth, because being able to thank everyone is what we like to do, especially when you see numbers like that. I mean, that was really impressive. So thank you to everyone, including your own staff and our frontline people, for all the work you did. It was definitely a successful year coming out of COVID. Council, if we can have a motion to receive. Councillor Reno, Councillor Carrick, all in favor? That carries. And item 4, Living LaSalle microsite. Ms. Hodry.
Thank you, Mayor Malash. Good afternoon. I'm just going to share my screen. It's just disabled at this time. If I could get, I think, Nick to correct that. Thank you. So just at the beginning of June, we launched a microsite, which is www.livinglasalle.ca. So it's a website to further expand our town and our identity and our brand. A microsite gives us the capability for dynamic content that's not available on our own site, on the municipal site. This was created in collaboration with Douglas Marketing Group, and it was a project that was designed through our Big Picture Landscape. And if you remember, the Big Picture Landscape was developed in 2016. We refreshed it in 2021. And that BPL gives us an overall picture of communication and promotions and materials, and a way to continue to develop our brand throughout the years. So the virtual timeline was a concept that came about while the town was purchasing land for the waterfront project, while we've been developing the waterfront project. We started to learn a lot of stories and a lot of history and a lot about the past of LaSalle. So we wanted to find a way to share this in a unique way with the community. And through the virtual timeline, we've been able to achieve that. Just entering the timeline. There is a tutorial video. I'm just going to click through that. Which brings us to the timeline. So the interactive site itself is broken into 5 sections. We have the historical milestones, which are the years previous to 1990, and then looking at the decades in the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s, and then looking at our future vision as well. So as you click into the site, it brings you into the decades and the years, and it's all interactive. You can use your mouse to scroll through the years. You click on to the year. It opens up a page. It has a little excerpt, a little bit of information to do with that year, or that highlight, that timeline. And then you can click on View Gallery, and it will open up a number of photos, maps, newspaper articles, any type of that information. Everything is you're able to zoom and to scroll so that you can actually read all the information that's there. So that was an exciting project for us. It took quite some time to work with Douglas Marketing Group to do all the research to put that all together. But I think it's a great addition to our history to be able to share with our community. We are hoping that as we start to share this more and get this out more, that members of the community can actually submit their information to us to be able to share their stories with us. So when they click on that, the button here to submit your story, it actually brings them over to the Place Speak page that we have enacted, so that people can submit their story ideas to us, give us information. They can upload documents and photos. So definitely this is something that we're going to develop and work with, really share with the community and push through social media to garner some interest in that side of things. And also on the microsite, just click here. If we scroll, there is the Active Living Trail Map. So the Active Living Trail Map was launched back in 2018. So we have taken some time to update it a bit now, and we've added 360-degree photos to some of our major parks. So if you click on them, you can see the information about the park. There's icons with what amenities are at that park. And then some of them have, I'm not going to click on the right one, have 360-degree photos on them. So that makes the site, again, interactive, gives the user the ability to scroll and to look and to see what's around them and what's at that park. We've also allowed users to be able to upload their photos and submit their photos to us. So as we do push this and get those photos, we'll be adding them to the site, which will build the site even bigger and make it more user-friendly and give that interactive feel so that the public can be part of our parks and part of this part of it as well. And one other thing I just wanted to mention, a little bit different this year because it was the Strawberry Festival's 35th anniversary. We worked, the Strategy and Engagement Department worked with the Culture and Rec Department to pull out some history about the Strawberry Festival. And we shared that information on social media to get that excitement around the Strawberry Festival. So that, along with the history timeline, the links are also available on the history page on the town's website. And we'll continue to share that and to push that with the public too, to be able to grow that whole history side of LaSalle and to share that with our public. I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Councillor Riccio Spagnuolo.
Thank you, through you. Don, to you and your team, that's pretty incredible what you're doing. I think it looks great. It's very, you could tell a lot of work and details went into it. What I was going to suggest, do you think we could do like a, or if you guys wanted to do something like a media launch to gather more stories from the public, or a contest of some sort to get more stories like you were just saying, from businesses, companies, people in LaSalle to send in their stories and their history of things that went on in LaSalle? Maybe that could be an option.
Yep, we intend to do a promotional social media campaign around that idea. And as the waterfront is developed and as new amenities come on board, we'll continue to do that and to work that into it as well. Thank you.
Councillor Carrick.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I brought it forward and I talked to the deputy mayor, and there's a couple individuals that were concerned about the history. And they're not, they're probably aging, and the fact is they don't want to lose the knowledge. So the timelines around how quickly we could get something like this out to get to that particular group, and they might not be as savvy electronically as most. So I would be interested to see how we could reach to those people to see how we can get to them with their stories of our history and uniqueness that would come with that.
Thank you for the question. If you share those contacts with us, we can try and coordinate with them, perhaps to have a town staff meet with them to ask those questions. We can try to make that work.
Any other questions or comments? Deputy Mayor.
Through you, Your Worship, I love it. To the team, once again, I see the ball sailing over the fence, and I'm not a baseball guy, but it's just one of these things. And to have it available worldwide is something else that speaks to how we're thinking. And I realize with some of the meetings we've been, we are in that growth phase of our community. We're not big, we're not small, but we are surely pushing, and rightfully so, our identity out to the world. So thank you very much. And to my colleague's point, I have a number of people in the community, and I'm going to be selfish. Most of them are veterans or veterans' families who live here that have gathered pictures and photos of their loved ones, which we will share at the appropriate time to not overload the staff. But again, I'm so pleased at the work that's being done and how every single day, you don't surprise us, you invigorate us. So thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Again, thank you. Like, we've been asking for a long time to see history of the town of LaSalle. I've lived here my entire life and learned a lot just by logging into that the other day, things I didn't even know. So I think it's really going to be great for the town. I think it's something that is good for our younger generations as well. I've had people contact us over the years asking where they could find information about LaSalle when we started, why we have Le Griffon in the front of the ship and the entrance of the town. So this is a great place where we can send our students when they're studying about their own municipality. And I'm really excited to see how else it grows. The amount of work you guys put in, it's really, truly is amazing. So thank you guys very much. It's very exciting. Councillor Rena.
Thank you. Just one comment. I assume that Douglas Marketing has a lot to do with how the website is set up and things like that. If you could just double check with them to check the accessibility for cell phones. We have a lot of younger people that are accessing strictly by cell phone these days. I personally have known about the site for a little while, and I've tried to get on my cell phone to get on it. I've had a lot of trouble, and it might just be me. But last night, I did go on the actual website on my computer, and like everyone else, I was overwhelmed. It was wonderful, and I just wish that I could get that on my phone the same way. Maybe just have them look into testing a few platforms, and it looks great. Thank you.
Okay, so we are looking to receive the report that was dated June 9, 2023. Councillor Desjardins, Councillor Riccio Spagnolo, all in favor? That carries. Any questions or statements from council members? Councillor Reno?
Just a few quick questions. With the last call before fall coming, and some of the typical things we hear about the event centers, the parking, knowing that we're going to be flushing a fair amount of people through that building based on the budgets, have we got any contingency plan for parking other than what we've done in the past? Anything for shuttles, anything for bus rides? Just wondering if we've given that any thought at this point yet.
Thank you for the question. We are just in the beginning phases of working out all the logistical details. With Strawberry Festival just wrapping up, we are now turning our attention to this, so we will be looking at all those options. However, note that the capacity is a lot smaller than the Craft Beer Festival was, so the capacity is about 1,000 people for this event. So given that most people would travel together for something like that, we should be okay, but we certainly will explore the options of shuttles and busing and what options we think would be suitable.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And one other question to Mr. Masanovich. I had a resident reach out to me yesterday about a basketball net in Heritage Park that had probably been damaged and taken down. Do we have an ETA on when that may be put back up?
Thank you for the comment, Councillor Reno. We'll find out. I don't know the specifics, but we'll find out and get back to you, let you know.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Councillor Riccio Spagnolo?
Thank you. First, a comment. So I just wanted to applaud you guys on your virtual tour that you did for the event center to send out to potential third-party events. And I think you guys did a great job to demonstrate and showcase the event center without having to actually come into the building. So great job on that. And just a question, are we looking at doing any pickleball sessions in the fall, winter at all at the event center?
Thank you again for the question. At this point in time, we do have a fairly full roster of events coming in the fall, so we don't have plans to offer indoor pickleball because of the back-to-back events that are scheduled.
Councillor Reno?
Thank you. One more question. I'm wondering if there's any type of update at this point for the traveling exhibit, if we've made any movements forward with that. Just knowing that by the time craft beer comes around, it may be a great opportunity to get some marketing at the event. I'm just wondering where we are and if we've made any headway with that event.
Thank you for the question. We do have the agreement. We're working through that with our legal counsel. We hope to have that signed and returned to the company in the near future, and then we'll be in a position to make an announcement about what exhibit is coming.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? No? All right, the next meeting is scheduled for August 22nd at 4:30. Meeting adjourned.
You don't say anything? Yeah, right. I believe you, John.